They say some things are better left unseen, but tonight, the camera caught what no one could explain. From shadowy figures moving where no one stands, to whispers that echo through empty rooms, each sighting will chill you to the bone. Some will doubt, some will laugh, until the impossible unfolds before your eyes. Are you ready to face the terrifying unknown? I've been trying to track down the original ghost hunter behind this footage, but no one seems to know who he is. What we do know is this: the house he explored is said to contain a dangerous jinn, a spirit determined to scare anyone who enters. The clip begins with the ghost hunter standing far from a closed door. Suddenly, it swings open on its own. It's too far away for him to be using a foot or string.
الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بكلمات بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنه من سليمان وإنه بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
And his reaction is instant, pure fear. Moments later, a metal bucket on the floor slides across the room by itself. No wires, no hands, no explanation. He pans the camera upward, and that's when it appears. A tall, dark shadow figure, perfectly visible in the beam of his light.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق.
But when he spins around to confront it, nothing. The corner is empty. Then the carpet ripples violently, as if dozens of footsteps are rushing toward him. I don't see how they could fake that part. And honestly, this might be some of the most convincing paranormal evidence ever caught on camera. The first clip on our list is one of those scary moments that stays with you long after you've watched it. Uploaded to TikTok by scary.jan3, it shows a young boy casually having a full-on conversation with something no one else can see.
Ghostman. Ghostman, Ghostman. Ghostman, you say yes.
In the footage, the child looks toward an empty space in the room and asks, "Want to talk to me?" He calmly refers to the unseen presence as Ghostman, talking to it with surprising confidence, almost like he's used to it being there. Then, things get even more unsettling.
Stupid. You don't like me? I will.
The boy threatens to beat the ghost up if it doesn't stop, before firmly telling it to leave. No fear, no hesitation, just authority. The video blew up online, with many viewers pointing out a chilling belief.
Don't talk to me. I'm gonna beat you up. 'Cause you don't be quiet. Now.
Children are often said to be more sensitive to the supernatural. Whether imagination, intuition, or something far stranger, the kid's calm dominance over whatever he was seeing is what truly creeped people out. Imaginary friend or unseen visitor. Either way, this clip likely terrified his parents far more than it scared him. This clip begins in a quiet apartment hallway, dimly lit and completely still, the kind of place you walk through every day without ever expecting anything unusual to happen. A man steps out of his apartment and pauses briefly before turning to leave. Nothing feels off. The hallway is empty, silent, and unchanged. Then, without warning, his body suddenly jerks sideways. He stumbles as if someone has shoved him hard. barely catching himself before hitting the wall. Instantly, he spins around, clearly confused, eyes scanning the hallway behind him, but no one is there. At the exact moment he's pushed, the camera captures something else. A dark shape appears beside him, separating itself from the shadows along the wall. It's tall, thin, and vaguely human in outline, but not solid. The figure leans toward him just as the shove happens, then disappears almost immediately. There's no second person, no door opening, no logical explanation for the force that knocked him off balance. The man freezes, staring down the hallway as if expecting someone to step out. When nothing happens, he slowly backs away, never taking his eyes off the spot where it happened. What makes this clip unsettling isn't just the shadow. It's the timing. The push and the apparition appear at the same moment. This wasn't something watching from a distance. It interacted. Picture this: a bustling barber shop during the day, clients getting fresh cuts, clippers buzzing, nothing out of the ordinary. The owner had heard rumors that the place was built on an old Native American cemetery, but he brushed it off. That is, until they installed new security cameras and reviewed the footage. It starts subtly. A blue cape draped over an empty chair suddenly shifts and falls upwards on its own, like something invisible just sat down, then got up. Then, a door in the back slowly closes and latches shut by itself. But the real heartstopper, that mannequin head way up on a high shelf used for displaying hairstyles, jerks and turns sharply, staring right toward the camera as if watching everyone. The barber, spotting it, freaks out on tape, yelling and pointing, while others rush over in disbelief. No strings.
Can we put a security set back? Because that just moved. Like that just moved. Like that just moved. What are you talking about? I'm not going to break it. That right there just moved.
No fans strong enough to move heavy objects like that, and definitely no one near the shelf. Poltergeist payback from disturbed grounds? This old clip still has millions scratching their heads. Real spirit activity or epic prank? You decide. This will definitely haunt me when I go to my barber. This spirit didn't stay in the ground. Published by Scary and Mysterious Stuff in January 2022, the clip shows a ghost hunter walking along a dark road beside an old graveyard when he spots something standing ahead of him. At first, the pale figure looks carved in stone, too still, too rigid, almost like a statue left behind by some forgotten caretaker. But then, it moves, slowly, deliberately. The long white robe drifts behind it as the figure begins to walk, gliding toward the graves. The cameraman inches forward, heart pounding. He finds the figure kneeling before a headstone, its head bowed, as if praying for someone long gone. Then it turns. Its face lifts toward him, and that's all he needs to see. He bolts, sprinting into the darkness as fast as he can. Before those glowing eyes take his lights, and maybe his life, forever. A family heads out on vacation, leaving their 2 cats, Calvin and Daisy, at home with a house sitter and security cams rolling. When they return, the kitties are totally freaked out, aggressive, on edge, with unexplained clumps of fur in the hallway and books knocked to the floor, as if a cat fight went down. But these two never scrap. Reviewing the footage from that empty house, pure chills. In the dim hallway, a dark shadow glides along the wall, crossing into the bedroom like it's sneaking in. Both cats snap to attention, staring intently at nothing we can see. Calvin by the door tracks it inside, while Daisy on the bed rears up on her hind legs. Full alert mode, following the invisible intruder. Then, the bedroom door yanks hard, slamming before easing shut. A table rattles on its own, and watch the sheets draped over a chair. They suddenly depress and soften, like something heavy just plopped down for a rest. No one home, no wind, no explanation, just eerie movement and terrified pets. Uploaded in 2020 by Happy Fox Productions, this clip has racked up millions of views, with viewers swearing the cat's genuine reactions sell it as real paranormal. Shadow entity? Ghostly visitor? It's subtle, raw, and still debated. What spooked those cats so bad? Watch if you dare. A terrifying video uploaded to TikTok by elcucuy.tv, reportedly filmed on a ranch in Mexico, has quickly become one of the platform's most unsettling paranormal clips. The footage begins with a man inspecting his property late at night. Everything is quiet, until he notices something standing motionless in the distance. As his camera steadies, a thin, pale figure slowly comes into view, its proportions eerily similar to the classic image of an alien gray.
Amigo, no me puedo mover. No me puedo mover. A la ver.
That's when things take a disturbing turn. The man suddenly freezes. He doesn't speak, doesn't move. He stands completely paralyzed, as if something is holding him in place. Some viewers even pointed out that the figure appears to be floating.
No le entiendo. Amigo.
Its feet slightly hovering above the ground instead of touching it. After several tense seconds, the spell seems to break. The man gasps, turns away, and tries to collect himself. But when he finally looks back, the figure is gone. He frantically searches the area, swinging his camera across the empty field, scanning the brush, checking every shadow. But there's nothing. No movement. No disturbed grass. No footprints. The being vanished without a sound, without a trace. Commenters flooded the video with theories. Some swear the figure was extraterrestrial, pointing to its thin limbs, large head, and the man's unnerving paralysis. Others think it could have been a ghost, or something far stranger roaming the rural darkness. One thing everyone agrees on: whatever the man encountered that night shouldn't have been there. Alien, spirit, or something beyond both. This ranch sighting has left thousands questioning what might be hiding in places where the night is quiet, and the shadows have room to stand. Dashcam footage from Avondale, Arizona has gone viral after viewers noticed something unnerving lurking on the side of the road. The clip was recorded on Lower Buckeye Road, a stretch locals already say has a long history of strange, late-night sightings. As the car cruises down the dark highway, headlights sweep across the roadside. And that's when a shape suddenly appears. When the footage is slowed down, the figure looks crouched low to the ground, humanoid in outline, but strangely distorted, almost as if it's watching the passing vehicles. Commenters who live nearby weren't surprised. One wrote, "I pass through here every day. The stuff I've seen, and the fact they have no city lights out here, tells you everything." Others were far less calm. swearing they'd never drive that road at night again. So what exactly did the dash cam catch? A trick of the light? A person frozen mid-step? A stray animal blurred by motion? Or something far stranger hiding in the desert darkness? Imagine this. It's a quiet night on a dimly lit street, with flickering streetlights that make everything feel like it's straight out of a horror flick. Two dogs are just chilling, minding their own business, when suddenly they freeze. Heads tilted up, ears perked, staring intently at nothing, or so it seems. The security cam rolls on this grainy footage that's been creeping out on the internet. At first, there's just a weird, shadowy blob lurking in the darkness. The dogs go into full alert mode, whining and barking like they've seen a ghost, because maybe they have. Then, right before your eyes, as the dogs go away, that amorphous black mass starts to shift. It stretches, morphs, and solidifies into a tall, humanoid figure. Like a shadow person straight out of your worst nightmare, standing there on the empty street, silent and eerie, no footsteps, no source of light casting it. Just pure, unexplained weirdness. Is it a glitch? A demon? An interdimensional intruder? Whatever it is, this clip leaves you questioning reality. What do you think it was? The Jordanian ghost hunter known only as Mr. Harris is back with another terrifying live stream. This time, inside an abandoned house, once rumored to belong to a witch. As he moves through the crumbling rooms, viewers notice a dark figure lurking behind him. It could have been a friend, except every time he looks into the room the witch was just seen in, the figure instantly disappears. No footsteps, no shadows, just gone.
أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. تعال. والله في شيء أسود ورب الكعبة.
Things get even stranger when another ghostly shape appears behind him on the live stream, only to vanish in a split second. Some viewers suggested it might be a streaming delay, but the footage never drops frames.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق.
The resolution never glitches. There's no pixelation, no lag, no distortion. The ghostly figure is simply there 1 second, and gone the next. Whatever Mr. Harris caught that night wasn't just creepy, it was impossible to explain. It's daytime when a father checks on his young son inside his bedroom. The room is softly lit by natural light and completely quiet. Nothing feels unusual at first. The boy is sitting on the floor, smiling and talking to someone the father can't see.
This dude's actually just sat like he's talking to someone, but his brother's downstairs. I'm here.
Curious, the father asks who he's playing with. The child answers casually, saying he's talking to a ghost named Edward. At first, the father seems unsure how to react. He looks around the room, scanning the space where his son's eyes keep returning. There's nothing there, no movement. No one else was present. The father asks where Edward is. The boy points to an empty spot near him.
Who are you talking to?
Edward.
Who's Edward?
Is that there?
No.
That's when the mood changes. The father's voice tightens, and without another word, he suddenly turns and runs out of the room, leaving his son sitting alone on the floor. The child doesn't follow. He doesn't panic. He keeps looking at the same spot, still smiling, as if Edward is still there. The video ends shortly after. What makes this unsettling isn't the father leaving. It's the fact that in broad daylight, the child never stops interacting with something no one else can see. A homeowner in Japan has become convinced that something unexplainable is living with them. and they believe they've caught it on camera. For several years, the owner of the YouTube channel Yama Q has documented a growing number of disturbing incidents inside their home. The activity became so frequent and so unnerving that the homeowner finally decided to dig into the property's past. What they discovered made everything far more chilling. A previous resident had reportedly died inside the house after suffering through a severe and painful illness. Determined to find answers, the homeowner installed GoPro cameras throughout the house, hoping to capture hard proof of whatever was happening. It didn't take long. The first footage revealed strange movement inside the bathroom. Objects shift on their own. Loud knocks echo from nowhere. Doors slam without anyone touching them. The sounds alone were enough to unsettle viewers. But things would soon get much worse. In a later recording, the homeowner hears something terrifying. The sound of agonized wailing coming from the living room. When they rush to investigate, there's nothing there. No source, no explanation. Just that heartbreaking cry fading into silence. Then came the most disturbing recording yet. Late one night, around 11:30 p.m., the crying returns, louder, more desperate, and impossible to ignore. Overwhelmed with fear and frustration, the homeowner reacts instinctively, throwing boiling water toward the sound, as if trying to drive something unseen away. The wailing continues. After reviewing the footage, the homeowner now believes they may be dealing with the lingering spirit of the former resident, a presence still trapped in the suffering of its final days. So what do you think? A haunting tied to tragedy, or something else entirely?